Hey folks, Trace Monk here, playing Pillars of Eternity, a second recording session. So apparently this Gaun's Pledge affecting my enemies is a side effect, is it possibly a bug related to being a barbarian? Let's see, we had a journal, right? Yeah, so we are currently seeking help for my condition, whatever's going on with my brain, and we're totally in this creepy town where they've strung up all these people on this tree. Oh my goodness. Now one thing, I did notice that if you look at the map here, it mentions Aloth. It has Aloth down here. Well, Aloth is actually one of the companions. And I talked to this person, Eder.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Really? Half the town's up there now, seems like. No right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Now, Eder is also, I think, one of the possible companions. No, yeah. Why am I not doing double speed? Oh. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
What's going on? One of the other men points at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us even while he shelters in our village. Just goes to show what those fancy Adire manners are worth. We don't take to that kind of treatment. Not from foreigners, and especially not from Adarans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cock's feather!
Okay.
I'll cut that barrel-looking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Okay.
That's where you're wrong.
Back down, all of you. This is absurd. No one gives us orders, foreigner. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Oh, maybe I am. Okay, angry townspeople. Alright. Well. Oh. He's cut them through pretty well. I guess these are just townsfolk. Not exactly like they have a lot of HP or anything. The last of the attackers falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
I'm not sure what the pairings of these are, because I'm kind of like, I want to be benevolent but aggressive. Glad I could help.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about
I'm a
yourself.
wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here? In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. Aloth goggles at you, silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
So, how'd you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
That's a nifty option there. But yeah, we'll go with the diplomatic one. Ah, that. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints. And the accent doesn't help. For just a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lip hard. Biting his lip so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. What are you doing here?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Yeah, he did just tell us that. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
Yeah, that big tree over there. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I guess I'll get going then.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Yeah, let's go.
Excellent.
Let's go
I
together.
shall follow you.
Okay, and loot these guys, and it's a bunch of... Well, take the... Oh, dang it. Take the money directly.
Huh? Right.
Oh, hey, yeah. Let's go into the inn. Yeah, it's a little bitty map here. Yeah, tab for interactable objects. Floorboards are sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean. Pasca here. Some kind of brown slop is congealing in these dishes. It smells burnt. No, we'll leave it alone. There's a table with stuff on it. We got some more named people. Okay, let's go over here. Let's talk to Pasca.
Hello.
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Black Hound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have two available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much in the way of a good meal today, unless you're fond of cold porridge. Alright, I could use some reliable help. let's see what I have to work with. Okay, well we can't. What is this here? Okay, so this is like stuff there. Party management. Okay. So I want to hire one other person right now, but I need money. So we're not gonna sell lockpicks. But we can totally sell some other things. Like, I don't know that we're gonna need daggers. Let's keep the bows. Sell that. Let's see. Okay. Some simple clothing, but that's worth 20 apiece. Another set of. Okay. I don't think we're going to need quite that much leather armor. Out, phew, out, phew. Alright, what do we got here? Some ingredients. Oh, yeah, we got a scroll too. Some potions. Some wolf hides. We'll sell a couple of torches. Switch back to the party here. And, yeah, I don't think I really need a helm at the moment. Let's trade that now. How much do we have? We have 370. We can hire an adventurer now. Actually, how much? Oh, did I just hit the... I did just hit the buttons. Okay. We're going to take... Let's see, female... Yeah, we'll take a female Orlan. Hearth is... Some of their hits into crits. No, we'll do Hearth Orlan because we're going to build a rogue. We can't get a companion in that class, so they get a sneak attack bonus and stealth and mechanics. Crippling strike or blinding strike. Crippling strike twice per encounter. Extra damage to hobbling and hobbling. Why is that not a highlighted thing there? Hobbling. Any enemy successfully hit. Oh, there we go. Hobbled. Their dexterity reduced by 2, movement by 1.5, and reflex by 20. Versus blinding strike once per encounter, extra damage and blinds the target. Accuracy reduced by 25. Perception reduced by 4. Movement is reduced by 2. I think the blinding strike is going to be more useful. Alright, so we definitely... I don't even know what area of effectish stuff, but I guess duration plus duration, that's why it's a thing for them. And then perception is, yes, interrupt. Interrupt, deflection, and reflex. So we'll kind of do what we do with everything here. We want a little bit of bonus from everything. We want... Let's go with 12 might. We want like 15 dex, and we want a lot of perception. A little bit of int. You know what? We'll go 16 dex. Yeah. Okay. I hope that works out. Aider would give us plus resolve. Deadfire Archipelago. Living Lands would give us might, but no, I think Deadfire Archipelago. Right? Yeah. Yeah, Deadfire Archipelago. Let's go with that one. And definitely no. Drifter. Drifter seems like it might be a good one there for this. Although, yeah, let's go with Drifter. Deadfire Archipelago Drifter. We're good with the colors. We have 2 choices ahead. I don't like that head better. Hair. Honestly, I think the first one might have fit better. Yeah, I like that. Kind of the shorter hair makes sense for somebody who's probably encountering combat a lot. Let's go with a redder hair color. Yeah, we want to go through the back half of these here. We'll go with this one here. It doesn't quite match. It's more like a human, but there we go.
I've got this.
Yeah, we'll go with feisty. And oh, a name. Oh, we'll go with an old favorite. This shall be Hermintrude. And if you don't get that, you need to read some more of Sir Terry Pratchett's books. May he rest in peace. Not that she would have been a rogue, she would have been, you know, a noble. But still.
Gods keep you.
I did mean to check to see how much a room was. Ah! Okay, so we can take the common room, getting for nothing. We can just rest in there, or we can take the Laborer's Rest and get plus Perception plus Mechanics, or take Deerwood's Pride for 150. Right now, we'll just rest in the common room. Oh! We having a dream? Ah! Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly, her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watcher! You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm that she is truly dead. Alright. So now we need to go find the dwarf woman from our dream. But first, no. Yeah, we're not going to try to camp. I misclicked. We're going to look around here. Yes, everyone can see us. This is true. I'm just kind of like looking around here like what's going on? Like, what happens if we go back here? Nobody can see us.
How may I help? Of course.
See, Aloth here is a wizard. What's this? Arcane Assault, twice per encounter. Yes, we could edit his grimoire. He has 3 level 1 spell usages per rest, and that is Scepter. It's a magical implement. They have flexible damage types. Let's actually look here. What is it? It's Crush Slash. Yeah, we need to like grab this bow here, give it to you, cause you're not going to be standing close enough probably to ever use that scepter in melee. And what's your deal? So you've got a saber. That saber doesn't have anything special about it. 14 to 20. I mean, it's higher damage, don't get me wrong. But if you're going to have an average speed weapon, it seems like it would be better to have an average speed weapon that actually assisted in some fashion. That gives her more accuracy. Crafting. Food. Potions level 1. Scrolls level 1. Ooh. Wow, we could actually, like, craft some stuff. Apparently we can't craft anything. Potion of Wizard's double. Plus 20. Deflection there. Cool.
Hi?
Oh, okay. So it definitely lets you know when you would be stealing. So we're totally stealing that right now. Spoons hang by the fire, coated in brownish gunk. But we should definitely take from this, because this is not marked as stealing. And we're actually in this scouting mode here because there are certain things that you actually can't, like, even see. Ooh, scroll. Development of a Crucible Knight, Part 2, Senior Ranks. So some sort of little in-canon book. Let's stop hiding here. Talk to these folks. Oh, okay. This is just, they're named. We can reach out for the soul. So, Selena Vertivo. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after the other. Careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on a high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Have someone die on her or something? I don't know. Wherever she was, she left quickly. And I guess we get the same thing here. Yeah, okay. Strom Brightblade. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking toward the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near their practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There is sudden, explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding the bow and leading the deer with a nocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses this last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. This guy is kind of a master bowman, or at least he was, maybe? I don't know. But that's going to be it for this episode, folks. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment, let me know how I'm doing. And subscribe if you want to see this and more things like this in the future. Bye-bye.